Hey everybody, it's Nathaniel Avila reporting from Dallas County. Uh, and you are?
And I'm Jessica Vega. I'm here in San Antonio, Texas.
Bye.
Hello, welcome.
Bye. Yep, a little bit of our Trump update again. Trump is still refusing to concede. Um, he's constantly suing a bunch of other states that he lost in, specifically Michigan and Pennsylvania. He forced Georgia to recount, I think, twice, and it
Mm-hmm.
still came out for Biden. He's been
Mm-hmm.
trying to block certification on the other states. Um, he called like a group of election officials from Michigan to the White House to talk about who knows what.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's trying every which way to subvert the results of the election. I think there was around 24 lawsuits, and each one of them have been thrown out. Um, and even much of the law firms that first took on the cases have since dropped out based on how they know that they're not going to win. And so as a
Mm-hmm.
result, he just replaced them with Giuliani, who hasn't been in a courtroom in 3 decades, and they have him making a butt out of himself in front of the judges, saying a bunch of nonsense. And recently, I know McEnany went on Fox News and bragged about having all these affidavits saying that people saw something.
So stupid. Yeah, I was reading an article that his ex-wife Ivanka Trump,
Ivana.
she said that Ivana, because the daughter is Ivanka, yeah. She said that he's a sore loser, and he can't ever admit when he's lost. So he's gonna just fight this out until he has no more gas, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, and then yeah,
That's
so
what little brats do.
yeah, so when they presented the affidavits from to the judges, to the judge, he looked through them and was like, uh, so he looked at the affidavit. He looked at the affidavit, and apparently there were two. One of them was when the person submitting did not pass the captcha thing that proves that you're a human and not a bot. That means that those are bots, so they're not real.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that did pass the captcha test, um, they can't prove that they are not fake. So, but you can't prove that they're real either.
Mm-hmm.
So the judge was like, "What is this malarkey?" And then he stopped the case and threw all the affidavits away. So yeah, and now you're saying that the GOP or like some Republicans are suing Pennsylvania, calling universal mail-in ballots unconstitutional, even though the Republicans or the GOP are the ones that put it into law or passed that bill last year, and then they're just coming up to say that what their bill that they themselves passed is unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So,
All
yeah,
right.
it is all a mess. What do you think, Jessica?
I think that this is embarrassing, and the more he fights, and I know other people see it as, yeah, keep fighting for what's right. But the more he fights, the more and more embarrassing it gets for him, and it's just turned it's been a freaking sideshow for a while, and it's just getting more and more ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's our Trump news for Trump update for today. So do you know what we're talking about today? That's not Trump.
I do.
What?
Because you told me.
Okay, I told you before that we started. What are we doing?
This is a story about the German football match fixing scandal in 2005.
Right.
And you're going to be telling it.
Right. And it's gonna be, when we say football, we mean soccer.
Football.
Yeah, football with the U.
Because it says with the foot. Not foot.
What?
It's spelled foot. FOOT.
Okay. What? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So
Okay.
we're gonna talk about that. So in early 2005, German football was overshadowed by the discovery of a €2 million match fixing scandal centered on the second division referee Robert Heuser, who confessed to fixing and betting on matches in the Bund- Bundes- Bundesliga and DFB Pokal, or the German Cup, and the then third division Regionalliga. Yep. So,
Okay.
4 referees: Lutz Michael Froelich, Olaf Blumenstein, Manuel Graf, and Felix Zwer went to officials of the German Football Association with their suspicions about Heuser. Initially, the DFB did not immediately act, but after becoming aware of the accusations, Heuser stepped down from his role as referee. Indications are that Heuser had regular meetings in Berlin with a group of 3 brothers who were part of a Croatian gambling syndicate connected to an organized crime group. After a confession from Heuser, several suspects were put under surveillance, and on January 28, 2005, a number of people were arrested. Milan Shapina, operator of the Cafe King sports betting agency, and his brother Philip were taken into custody along with Hertha BSC players Alexander Mundlog, Nando Rafael, Josep Shimonich, Madlong, Rafael, and Shimonich all played in Hertha's surprising 3-2 defeat to a third division side, Eintracht Braunschweig, in their December 22nd, 2004 German Cup match, with Madlong giving up a crucial 80th minute own goal, only 4 minutes after coming on as a substitute. The trio came under suspicion for having been known to associate with the Shapina brothers, but there is no proof that they actually participated in the manipulation of this or any other match. As witnesses against Heuser, the Berlin referees Lutz Michael Froelich and Manuel Graf were immediately relieved of their officiating responsibilities for their own safety, being replaced by Franz Xaver Wach and Torsten Kinhofer. The referees scheduled to officiate matches on the 19th round of the Bundesliga play on the 29th and 30th of January 2005 were all charged the day before the games. All changed the day before the games were played. Heuser cooperated with the investigators in helping to uncover the details of the scheme, implicating other officials, players, and a group of Croatian-based gamblers. This led to a suspicion by the league, as well as criminal investigation by the end of 2005. It appeared that the scandal did not directly involve the Bundesliga and was confined to lower divisions. The investigations lead to the following results. Before I get into the results, you look like you're thinking really hard.
I'm listening.
So what is your opinion so far?
It's a lot already.
Yep.
Boom Basil.
So Heuser was banned for life from any role in football and received a 2-year, 5-month prison sentence. Jail sentences for Heuser and 5 other defendants were confirmed in December 2006 after they had lost their final appeals in court. Referee Dominic Marks was banned for life and received a 1-year, 6-month sentence for his involvement. The three Croatian brothers orchestrating the scheme received sentences ranging from 2-year, 11-month in prison to 1 year suspended. The three Croatian brothers orchestrating the scheme received sentences ranging from 2-year, 11-month in prison to 1 year suspended. Referee Felix Zwayer was banned for 6 months for his involvement, including accepting a €300 bribe from Heuser. Referee Torsten Koop received a 3-month ban for not promptly reporting an approach from Heuser. Matches involving officials and players accused for or convicted of their involvement in the scheme were subject to review by the league. Hamburger SV received compensation worth up to €2 million for its forced early exit from the DFB Cup, and compensation for certain other teams affected was arranged. After review, replays have been ordered for a number of lower division games, while other results were stand. A number of changes have been put in place or proposed to ensure closer oversight of referees and other game officials. Once the criminal issues involved have been resolved, it is expected that a number of civil suits will arise as some clubs and individuals seek compensation for harm suffered as a result of the scandal. So what do you think about all these changes?
It's crazy.
So, yeah, let's see what the DFB has to say. So the DFB Committee of Control reacted to the scandal with a number of measures intended to prevent similar incidents in the future. The committee originally intended to follow UEFA practice of designating game officials in just 2 days' notice before the match, rather than exiting schedule of 4 days' notice. This suggestion was abandoned as impractical. Referees who are promoted to officiate the second division games will be observed over a 3-year period in the Regionalliga. Previously, matches involving Bundesliga teams in the German Cup had not been subject to observation by an arbitrator, but will be in the future. This fourth official will be certified for first division matches and able to act as a substitute game official on short notice if required. Substitutes may be made in the 2 junior game officials of the day of the match at the direction of the league officials. Video replays will be issued more extensively in the future. Where a potential problem has been identified with game officials, all those may be subject to an immediate interim suspension under the Betradar early warning system until the issue is resolved. The DFB is proposing to offer its own sports betting program for the league in 2006 to 2007 in order to have some control and oversight of popular and lucrative sideline. There is some consideration of responsibility for the selection of game officials being put into the hands of the DFL, the governing body responsible for all German football, rather than leaving this in control of the individual leagues. These measures were regarded as an immediate first step taken to manage the problem of match fixing. Other more detailed proposals will be put forward by expert committee appointed to address the issue. On February 13th, 2005, the DFB announced the Commission for the Problem of Match Manipulation as being made up of DFB President Zwijnzinger, DFL President Hackman, Treasurer Schmidhuber, and Secretary General Horst Schmidt. The DFL is also considering a departure from tradition by employing professional officials in place of the amateurs now used. DFL President Werner Hackman sees the controversial step as possible in the light of the recent scandal. The former chairman of the board, Hamburger SV, feels the same use of full-time referees earning a good wage could help deflect bribery attempts in the future. Former star player and head of Germany's 2006 FIFA World Cup organizing committee, Franz Beckenbauer, expressed opposition to the idea of employing professional officials, feeling that the current system has worked quite well and is solidly supported by the excellent training program run by the DFB. The former FIFA referee Helmut Krug DFB director of officials criticized the control system of the DFB had in place because it is known for some time that Heuser was making dubious decisions, but there is no action taken. He was also emphasized that the more general need for observers to prepare written match reports is as is the practice for all the Bundesliga matches. So what do you think so far?
I don't even know what to say.
You don't even know what to say.
People are crazy. These people are crazy. They're fixing matches.
Right. So yeah, and so now the DFL is trying to prevent this by doing all these rules that I just mentioned. And one of the things that seemed to be that they're doing was they wanted to actually have professional referees instead of amateurs that they were using before. But some people were like, no, we don't need that. The amateurs just fine. What do you think about that?
It's just their way of trying to make sure that it stays fixed.
Oh, snap. You think they're in on it?
Why? I mean, what are the reason? What's the problem?
Basically, they said that if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it's working just fine.
Excuse me, it's hella broken.
Well, yeah, because this guy was like betting on games and rigging them.
Yeah.
So that's no good. So you say yes to professional.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I guess even professionals can be swayed with the dollar, but if they really care about their job, then they're not going to do it.
Yeah. They
you know
said
what
that.
I mean?
Yeah.
Bribe.
Yeah. What they're saying for the professionals is that if they have like a person who makes a good living wage off of it, then they'd be less likely to accept additional money from people.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So, there is some fear that the scandal affecting the largest football association in the world could have some negative impact on the upcoming World Cup to be hosted by Germany in 2006. While World Cup Organizing Committee Chief Franz Beckenbauer expressed his concern, government spokesman Thomas Steg acknowledged the efforts of the DFB in acting in a committed manner in quickly dealing with the issue. A spokesman for Germany's Ministry of the Interior warned against the atmosphere of general suspicion and exaggerated mistrust given to what appeared to be, on investigation, the narrow scope of the problem. It was felt that the response of the scandal by the DFB demonstrated the general effectiveness of the sport's governing institutions. Interior Minister Otto Schily also encouraged all game officials to support the DFB and Public Prosecutor's Office in quickly addressing any suspicions raised. He indicated that it was clear that the vast majority of officials conduct themselves in an honest and professional manner, and that to be generally suspicious of the game's officials without cause would be unfair. The scandal attracted international media attention, but the DFB and FIFA worked aggressively to ensure that the controversy died down before the 2006 World Cup. So let's talk about every single match that this guy rigged.
Okay.
So in the course of the investigation of the DFB, by the DFB, a number of matches were examined to determine if there was an attempt to manipulate them and if any such attempt had affected the outcome. The matches and their relevant detail are listed below in chronological order. The DFB set a cutoff date of June 30th, 2005 for filing protests over matches that may have been subject to attempted manipulation. While Heuser had drawn suspicion of a number of its fellow officials sometime earlier, it was the August 21st, 2004 match between SC Paderborn 07 and Hamburger SV that precipitated the complaint to the DFB against him. So, let's start on May 30th, 2004. Wuppertaler SV versus Werner Brennen Amateur. The Regionalliga Nord match was refereed by Heuser. There was no determination of manipulation. Bremen did not file again a protest again, as a result did not materially affect their standing in the league table. The match was not replayed, and the result is left to stand. Good job. June 5th, 2004, Eintracht Braunschweig versus FC St. Pauli, 3-2. Regionale Nord match was refereed by Heuser. There was a determination of manipulation, but because the season was completed by the time the determination was made, the match was not replayed, and the result was left to stand. Negotiations are underway to arrange the compensation for St. Pauli. Needs an update, though. So I guess that's done. August 11th, 2004. VfL Wolfsburg Amateur versus Fortuna Dusseldorf 1-1. It was tied. This Regionale Nord match was refereed by Heuser. There was no determination of manipulation. The match was not replayed, and the result was left to stand. Good job, Jessica.
Okay.
August 13th, 2004. Hertha BSC Amateur versus Armenia Bielefeld Amateur 3-1. This Regionalliga Nord match was refereed by Dominic Marks. Heuser testified that Marks received payment to attempt to manipulate the outcome. The contest was replayed near the end of the season on April 12, 2005, with Berlin repeating their victory, by this time by a score of 6-0. No other compensation was ordered. August 14th, 2004, FC St. Pauli versus VfL Osnabrück, 2-3. The Regionalliga Nord match was refereed by Heuser. There was no determination of manipulation. The match was not replayed, and the result was left to stand. August 14th, 2004, FC St. Pauli, VfL Osnabrück, 2-3. This Regionalliga match, Nord was refereed by Heuser. There was no determination of manipulation. Oh, I think I read that one already. August 21st, 2004. SC Paderborn 07 Hamburger SV 4-2. Opening round of German Cup match was refereed by Heuser, who admitted to attempting to influence the outcome of the game by awarding a number of unjustified penalties against Hamburg. HSV striker Ernie Mumpenza was sent off for protesting calls. The obviously questionable nature of the calls in this match caused a number of Heuser's fellow officials to complain to the German Football Association, which led to the opening of the investigations that revealed the scandal. By the time the fix was revealed, several more cup rounds had been played, and Paderborn had been eliminated. The match was not replayed, and Mumpenza's red card was rescinded. HSV was rewarded €500,000 in compensation, and was also to be rewarded a Germany international match at the club's home ground, which would generate an additional €1.5 million in revenue. August 27, 2004, Rot-Weiss Essen versus RC Rot-Weiss Erfurt. 0-0. No one scored. This Bundesliga match was refereed by Heuser. There was no determination of manipulation. The match was not replayed, and the result was left to stand. September 21st, 2004, FC Nürnberg versus LR Allen, 2-3. This opening round German match was refereed by Heuser. There was no determination of manipulation. The match was not replayed, and the result was left to stand. September 26th, 2004, SV Duisburg versus SPVGG Gruther Futh, 1-0. This Bundesliga match was refereed by Heuser, and a protest was filed by Futh. It was determined that there was an attempt to manipulate the match, but the attempt did not affect the outcome. The match was not replayed, and the result was left to stand. October 22nd, 2004, LR Ahlen versus SV Wacker Brushausen, 1-0. This Bundesliga match was refereed by Heuser, who admitted to manipulating the match by awarding Allen a questionable penalty. The match was replayed near the end of the season on April 27, 2005. with Berghausen able to reverse the result with a 3-1 win. The outcome did not otherwise materially affect the standing of the two clubs in the league table. No other compensation was ordered. November 6th, 2004, KFC Ordingen 05 versus VfL Osnabrück 1-4. This Regionalliga Nord match was refereed by Häuser. There was no determination of manipulation. The match was not replayed, and the result was left to stand. November 28th, 2004, SPVGG Unterhaching versus FC Saarbrücken 1-3. This Bundesliga match was refereed by Häuser, who admitted to manipulating the game by awarding Unterhaching a questionable penalty. The penalty, which could have tied the match at 2-2, was missed. The attempt to manipulate the game did not affect the outcome, and the result was left to stand. No other compensation was ordered. December 3rd, 2004, Karlsruher SC versus MSV Duisburg. This Bundesliga was refereed by Dominic Marks. Häuser testified that Marks received payment in an attempt to manipulate the outcome. KSC filed a protest over the result. While it was determined that there was an attempt to manipulate the match, it was judged that the attempt did not affect the outcome. The match was not replayed, and the result was left to stand. Thus, ending the story of the 2005 German football match-fixing scandal.
It was all left to stand, man.
So you think it pretty much, the match-fixing really didn't affect a whole lot?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that a lot of these games were not replayed. Like, it was just like, fuck it.
Really? That's what you think happened?
All of the ones, like, I want to say 90% of the ones you read, it just said the result was just left like that. It was not replayed. The result was left to stand.
Pretty much. I think I saw maybe 2 or 3 of them were replayed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that means about the DFB?
Either they're also in on it, or it's just not that important to redo it.
So what do you think about the whole idea of match fixing as a whole?
It's shitty. I don't know. It's just terrible. It's pretty crappy.
Yeah, well, that's the 2005 German matchmaking scandal. We have half an hour left, so.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't know. Like, some of these are professionals, and some of these weren't, right? Some of them are just like amateur teams.
Yeah.
I mean, these people bust their butt to play these games to get to where they are, just for people to just manipulate the numbers. That's crappy.
Yeah. And Europe really is really into soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, their entire world revolves around soccer. And they take it very seriously. And I think so much so that this might also be, and the same thing goes for Latin America, who also take the game very seriously. But I remember also there would be some times where the home team or some home country would lose a game, and then all of a sudden these gangsters are all after them because they lost to the game. They hired hitmen to go attack the players because they lost, and I guess because they bet on the game and now they're lost. They lost a bunch of money because of it, and they blame them for it. Stuff like that happens a lot.
Oh, that's crazy. It's crazy to me. I don't know. They had to have been in on it.
You think the DFB has to be in on it?
Or somebody inside of that had to have been on it to allow this many games to not be either replayed, or maybe that's what raised a red flag. Like, why are all these games being questioned? Why are all these games not being replayed? What's going on?
Right. Like also, this guy has been doing it for a while, and I guess that's why they just let him just continue doing it. And I think,
Well,
yeah,
it looks like this is all like one season. Like maybe he just did overkill this one season.
yeah. But the DFB did, uh, like, make a bunch of restrictions though, like a bunch of like not restrictions, but a bunch of rule changes to try to help fix that.
Mm-hmm.
But they did receive pushback on the whole amateur getting professional referees and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's what happened. I have no idea. Oh wait, no, I do know. He got like 2 million euros. It was 2 million euros that he profited off of the betting and stuff. How much of that is in American dollars? You want to
I'm
find
not
out?
picking up.
I think I looked it up earlier, but I forgot. It's 2.4 million dollars, and that's in 2005. So let's see how that is.
What dollars?
Million USD, 2005 to 2020. That is. That's way too much. For some reason, it switched to like 104 billion.
What? Shut up. Google, go to sleep.
Okay, let me see. What was it? 2, 4. How do I do this? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. That's 100,000. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. 2, 4. There. See if that works. Dang it didn't work. Too many zeros. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. One more zero. $3.2 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think it would have gone up that much, but a whole million. It went up a whole million.
Mm-hmm. It was $3.2 million in today's money. That's how much money that was made in this scandal.
Crazy dude.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: if somebody says like, "Hey, I know who's going to win. I can tell you who's going to win," would you take that offer and then so you can bet on that?
No.
Are you sure? It's like $1 million.
No, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. I'd be sketchy because like, how do you know? Like, what the fuck did we do?
And then he's like, "I'm the referee."
You know what I mean? If you get caught, you get in trouble, and then I get more taken away from me than just stupid money.
Well, he did get caught. He got caught because he was ratted out by the other referees.
So, does he? Oh, sorry. Is he the only one that had consequences, or did other people that were in on it with him have the same consequences, or maybe a little bit less?
I think it was him and three other people that were involved. Wait, no, it wasn't. It was four other people who told the GFB, or the DFB about it. It looks. I don't know if he was working alone, but he did testify that I think a couple other referees were doing it. He did testify that this. Let me see. Blah, 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 blah. He testified that this Dominic Marks guy received payment in order to like do that, but I don't know what happened to him. But it looks like Heuser really got the brunt of it But he did end up working with law enforcement to try to unveil the scandal, which did get some other people arrested, like the Shapina brothers and stuff.
Hmm.
And one of the things that the DFB tried to do in order to like combat it is that they made their own betting league or betting program for the league. What do you think about that?
So, like a legal, is it a legal betting system?
A legal betting official, the official betting of soccer in Germany.
Mm, I mean, I guess it's their way of trying to eliminate the people doing it the bad way to
Mm-hmm.
screw everything up.
Mm-hmm. They said it is because it gives them more control and oversight
Yeah,
of the thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Would you manipulate the results in order to get money?
No,
Are you
no, no,
sure?
I would I manipulate the results? No, I don't want to go to jail, bruh.
Are you sure? Like, what if you're about to die and you need a couple $1 million in order to save your life?
Wait. If I'm about to die and I need a couple $1 million to save a life,
Save your life.
no,
Still
because then
no?
I'm gonna spend the rest of my damn life in jail.
Also, you wouldn't, if you're in Germany, you wouldn't need that because they have universal health care.
Ooh,
Oh, boom, 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 boom,
ooh.
boom.
So, dude, I've been looking into like the amounts that countries have been paying their people during this pandemic, and we're the only country that was only received one payment this whole fucking pandemic.
I know.
All
Can't,
the other countries are giving their people, I mean, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them are giving their people monthly subsidies to help while we're in this mess.
yeah, because they want the money themselves.
Because they want their people to be
No, I'm
okay.
talking about the government.
Yeah,
Our
and this
government.
government, our government, is so focused on getting everything reopen that it's making the numbers go back up and crazy again because people, okay, so you telling me that it's safe to go out now as long as I wear a mask? So everybody's out doing their thing and everybody's getting sick again. And
Mm-hmm. Masks do
oh,
help a lot. The
of
direct,
course, yes, they
yeah,
do, but people just don't wear them.
that's the other thing. People just don't wear them because
It
they
violates my rights because you can't make me.
yeah, that's the
Shut
thing
the
about
fuck up.
that's the thing about America. We're a very Americans are a very like you can't tell us what to do type
You
group.
can't. It's my right.
Yeah,
Those people just drive me crazy with their thought process. Like, uh, this isn't about you and your stupid need to fucking implement your rights. This is about everybody trying to stay safe while we're just trying to go to the store to get milk and eggs or gas. To protect yourself from getting sick and protecting your fellow man next to you or whatever. No, that's not how they see it.
they just want to own the libs. That's all they care
Yeah.
about. Um, like I do everything online. I order all my groceries online and everything. I will not step foot into a Walmart. I've stepped foot into a Walmart like a couple of times, and man, that place is a madhouse. I will
It
never do
is.
that. I will
It
never
really
do that.
is. It doesn't seem like it's even slowed down at all. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably why they've stuck to keeping it closed at 10. They close at 10.
Mm-hmm.
HEB too, I think they close at 10 or 11. But yeah,
It used to be 24 hours, but they don't do that anymore.
I know. And I miss it, but they got to do what they got to do.
I
One
once
thing,
went. Yeah.
freaking Starbucks closes super early. I went last Sunday I just wanted to go look at their cups to see what new Christmas cups they had in. And the lobby was closed. Okay, fine. There was nobody in the drive-thru. I was like, oh. I went, and they're like, oh my god, so sorry. No, they said, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Oh, I'm super duper sorry, but we close at 3 p.m. on
3 p.m.
Sundays.
What were they
3
doing
p.m.
there?
on a
Were they just?
fucking Sunday?
What were they doing there? Why are there employees there just hanging around?
They were closing because it was like 3:15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, on a weekend, y'all close at 3? But then I went down the road to the other one off 151, and they got a line all the way around. Like, is it a franchise? Like, I don't know.
3
It sucks
p.m. is
because
really early.
this location is really busy, and for them to close that early.
Yeah. I know that also the couple of times that I went into the Walmart is because my medicine delivers there in the pharmacy. And I want to try to switch the pharmacy that I get my medicine to, where like hopefully like a place with a drive-through.
Yeah, go to CVS.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, but it has to be under my insurance as well.
Just call.
Just go.
Call them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I want to do that, or see if I can do it under the new Amazon thing and just get it delivered to my house, or the Uber Eats thing, because I know they do that too.
What?
Uber Pharmacy.
What?
Yep.
I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to deliver you drugs.
Legal drugs.
I don't do drugs, kids.
Really?
Nope.
Not even.
I haven't had a drink of alcohol in a long time. You know, my boyfriend's going through his stuff. So, but before all that, I hadn't even had a drink before that started. So it's been like over 2 months. And I mean, I'm not a heavy drinker at all. So, but I wouldn't mind like one drink, just because I haven't in a long time. But I'm okay. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of which, Oregon in this past election decriminalized all forms of drugs, which is cool.
Oregon?
Yeah.
Oregon,
yeah.
Oregon?
Yep, Oregon decriminalized all uses of drugs, everything you think of, cocaine, meth, crack, all that.
In a, let me just guess, this is to try to help get rid of people that are locked up for those things?
I think so, yeah. The thing is that if you're caught possessing it, or in possession of it, or doing it, you will not go to jail. You will instead be going into like rehab for drug addiction. That's what they're trying to do.
Well, see, that makes sense, to try to rehabilitate. I was saying that I was listening to a podcast. I don't remember what I was listening to, but I forgot what it was. It was probably a documentary where they're talking about the correctional facilities and how they don't really seem to be correctional facilities. They're not to correct behaviors. They're just a place for these people to go for a lifetime to just rot there. What's the point of calling it a correctional facility if they're not really trying to help them correct their behaviors? Some of them do have classes, some of them do have schools, some of them do have programs to where they do, but if there are people that aren't going to come out like ever, it's like,
that's what penitentiaries are supposed to be.
Yeah,
that was what they originally were supposed to be. That's why they were called penitentiaries, because it was supposed to derive from the word penitent. Because you were supposed to go there, receive your penance, and then leave, but it wasn't. It just acted like just a jail, like a regular prison.
Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon. They decriminalized it.
That's where Portland is.
Yeah, it is where Portland is.
Salem is.
Yeah, it is where Salem is, but not that Salem. It's a different Salem.
Salem, Massachusetts is where I want to go.
Where the witch trials were? Okay. But the thing is, if everything goes well in terms of that, Oregon is just like trying to like see if we're testing the waters, and if everything works out great, then maybe the rest of the states will follow. which is what
Oh
happened.
no.
Which is what kind of what happened in with same sex marriage. It started off in legalized in one state, and then it slowly trickled out. Other states started legalizing it, and then that momentous Supreme Court decision actually ended up making it legal throughout all of America, just like that, in
It's so
2015.
crazy to me how that was illegal up until recently.
Yeah,
Ah, it's insane.
I mean,
I don't want to get into that, but just saying, like, that's crazy.
yeah, and then also the same thing with weed. Marijuana or cannabis has been legalized in like California and Washington, Colorado, like a couple of years back, and then now like a bunch of states have just been legalizing it medically, and then all of a sudden recreationally, and I think like a bunch more states have legalized it this past election, like a couple more states. Um, except for Texas. Texas would probably be the last one.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Last.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's also because we're super close to Mexico, like insanely close to Mexico. And that's one of the biggest reasons that they're trying to make closed borders because of the infiltration of drugs coming through from the border right there. Um, but so what happens then? They just be like, go ahead, bring it all through. What happens?
I don't know.
Is that what happens?
Well, if
Yeah,
that's
I'm
the case,
assuming.
then if that's the case, then pretty much drugs would have lost all its power. In my
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
if people are caught doing it, they just wouldn't go to they wouldn't go to jail. They would just go get rehabilitated, and it wouldn't
And
become that
then
big
the
of a deal.
rehabilitation centers are going to be like, like the way the jails used to be like overfilled.
Oh snap! That's another thing. That's another
But
thing.
if they're getting better, I mean,
Well,
you
let's
know,
we're just gonna have to see what happens in Oregon. Uh, if this method will be beneficial. I know that Biden is planning on doing student loan forgiveness, which I would very much like to have.
of
Um,
course, yeah.
you didn't have to do that because you didn't go to college.
I didn't, and
Yeah.
that's why I didn't. But I regret it, and I probably will go when the kids are up and out of here, and I don't have to worry about that anymore
Mm,
for myself. If I haven't already done something to benefit myself career wise before then,
mm,
but it'll help
yeah. I
definitely.
would very much like to have student loan forgiveness. A lot of the only criticisms that people have against it are are well, I had to pay for it. That means you all have to pay for it,
Hmm?
which I don't think is a good argument.
What do your parents say?
They would love that. They would love that.
I'm sure they would.
Hmm. I really hope that happens. A lot of economists say that it's actually going to be beneficial for the economy. That people would act like our students would actually be able to buy other things and not focus solely on repaying these loans. That would
Hmm.
help. The only other one
I feel
only
like
yeah yeah
I feel like it would also help to not deter kids away from college. That's one of the biggest reasons why I didn't go, is because I didn't want to be piggybacked with all of that debt. And I really want my daughter to go, but I really don't want her to have that burden of worrying about it. Like she's going to, if she goes. It's just inevitable. She's gonna try to get scholarships, but I don't know how much that'll cover. Whatever it doesn't cover, she's gonna have to pay for. So,
that's why we need student loan forgiveness for people like this new generation coming into college, um, and us who just got out of it, which would definitely help us. The only one economist that said that he didn't want it was because that it would open a Pandora's box. Okay, other people would be upset that they didn't get student loan forgiveness, and that's just not fair. It would deter, that would ruin the experience of being in crippling debt.
What?
Ooh,
Who wants to
that
be in crippling
that's
debt?
what he actually said. He said it would ruin the experience of being a college student. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So being a college student means being stressed the fuck out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
That's the
I
only
mean, they're
reason.
already stressed out as it is, making sure that they get to college, the class on time, making sure that they turn in all their, because it's not like high school, regular school. If you don't turn that shit in, the professors aren't going to be like, okay, well, you can make it up. They're not going to be like, oh, you will, maybe, you know. They're just like, oh well,
Yeah.
your grade, you're
This is
done. You didn't turn it in.
this is coming from the same guy who who a bunch of kids who survived a school shooting was afraid of getting shot again, and I told them, "You're just a bunch of dumb kids. What do you know?"
Oh my God.
Yep, that's their mentality, pretty much. I don't think they're dumb. I think they're
The way some people think
justified.
is so ass backwards. I don't get it. I don't fucking understand it.
What I'm saying is that I don't like anyone who's not me, basically.
Yeah.
Yep, that's me being that guy, being like the general Republican mindset. That's not me talking.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like stuff like that. I know that Biden is planning on going back to the Paris Agreement, which is great. Um, so that's good. So yeah, that's the state of everything right now. I would like to have universal health care. That would be great. I would like to have universal education. That would also be great.
I also found out today that Canada pays their citizens a child benefit.
Hmm.
They get extra money per month per child that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like up to $500 a month, just
Yeah.
to help take care of their kid.
No. We had that too with that one stimulus bill. It was 500 per dependent, but it was people under 16.
No, I'm talking about like this is a monthly thing that they just get.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. We only did it
That
once, but they did.
that was like a one-time thing deal for us. This is just what they get, period.
Yeah, that would be great if we had that, but they're like, but then we wouldn't have the money. We wouldn't have money, and we want the money for ourselves. And remember when Mnuchin said that $1,200 would easily cover 3 months living? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and then I think he disbanded like the support organization, like the support program for coronavirus. I think he like shut it down because he said that they did their job and they just didn't need to do it anymore.
I don't know. That dude's just whatever. If the Democrats don't agree for the American people to pay this money back, the Republicans are never going to agree to it. So that's where we're at, and that's where it's going to stay. They want the American people to pay it back with their income tax.
Yeah, that's what they want. They don't want to just give it to us. It's going to be more of like a loan. They want it to be like a
so
loan.
the Democrats don't want that because that's money that most of us already have spent in our head because we have to pay stuff off from stuff that we've bought during the year. And it's also supposed to help us try to get ahead a little bit,
right,
depending on how you spend your money. And then just to have that taken away, like some of it already just chunked away, it's it just sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, but I know that what Biden wants to do is that he just wants to tax the rich, people who make more $400,000 a year. But they're like, no, that's my money. It's
Well, I
basically
mean,
what they're
as far
doing.
as I know, a lot of those people are also going to be like the people in the entertainment industry, and a lot of people in the entertainment industry have been very vocal about the way they feel about him, and it doesn't seem to matter to them, at least from what I've seen. But then there's a lot of other people that I don't know how they feel.
What do you mean? Like, how do they feel?
Oh, they don't like him.
It's because of just because of the tax, because he wants to tax them.
I'm talking about Trump.
Then what?
They don't like Trump.
Why are you using the pronoun game? I don't know without anything to attach it to.
Sorry, but yeah, I haven't seen any celebrity openly say they don't um, support Biden. I've only seen celebrities openly be very vocal about not supporting Trump.
Right. So I guess
So
they know that it's for the greater good. Excuse me. So they know what's going on. So yep, that's our episode for today. That's the 2005 German football match fixing scandal, along in addition to just us talking about the state of America. So match fixing, is it a victimless crime?
no.
Hmm.
I don't know. I wouldn't say victimless because, like I was saying, the players in these games, I gotta imagine that they, after a while, feel like they're just actors in a show, just playing the game until they need to make it the way the referee wants it, and then that's it. They're not really truly playing the game the way they want to be, and that sucks.
You're very sympathetic to the players. Good job.
Well, I mean, it just sucks. But if they're in on it, they fucking suck too.
I think there was 3 players that were in on it. Let me see. Yeah, 3 players that were in on it. Yep, that's that. So, Jessica, have you refereed any football games, soccer games in
Not
Germany?
football, but fucking kids that drive me crazy.
It sounds like you have been fixing matches. You're under arrest.
Yeah.
Put your hands up. You're going downtown. All right, that's that. Some little something for the sports fellas. All right, that was the 2005 German matchmaking scandal. I was Nathaniel, Mavila, Javila, Calavila.
And I've been Jessica Vega.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening to a Vision podcast, home of wacky talkies, The Kingdom, Evil Exists, and many more.